So we have details for the second Ultra Unlock event, which is set to happen later on this month in Pokémon GO. This is going to be a Steel and Dragon type themed event, and I think it's actually pretty exciting on paper, but there's definitely things here with this event that's going to draw a lot of criticism from Pokémon GO players. Hey, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokémon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So as per tradition with every year's Pokémon GO Fest, we are getting a set of Ultra Unlock events, which are typically much better than your typical in-game event. And this year, at least with the first Ultra Unlock event, it's definitely delivering. I feel like the first Ultra Unlock event is going to be phenomenal with some incredible bonuses and some Pokemon that a lot of players are looking forward to. And I do think that overall they did a really good job with it. And following that, we got information regarding the second Ultra Unlock event, which is going to be debuting a Pokemon which a lot of players really want, and that is of course Aegislash. And then of course, they're going to be debuting a brand new shiny, and this is a shiny that a lot of players have been wanting. It's going to be Rookidee. Now overall, I feel like this is super exciting. Getting a new Pokemon that a lot of players have been wanting for a very long time, along with a shiny Pokemon that a lot of players have been wanting, all within one event. That is usually something to celebrate, but I still think there are some things with this event that I really feel like is a huge misstep, and I think a lot of other players may agree. But regardless, let's go over the details for this event, and then afterwards let me share some of my thoughts. The Ultra Unlock Steel in Scales event is going to be starting on July 22nd at 10 o'clock AM local time, and it's going to go until July 27th at 8 o'clock PM local time. The featured Pokemon is going to be Honedge, Doublade, as well as Aegislash, and they're going to be making their Pokemon GO debut. Now if you want to get yourself an Aegislash, basically you need to evolve a Honedge into Doublade with 25 Honedge candy, and then you need 100 Honedge candy to evolve Doublade into Aegislash. It's a very typical evolutionary process for a two-stage Pokemon. I do think this is going to be one of those Pokemon that a lot of people will be wanting. Now during this event, we're going to see the following event bonuses, and let me be straight up with you, these are not as exciting as the first Ultra Unlock event. You're going to be able to get 4 times the amount of experience when you catch Pokemon, double the amount of candy when you catch Pokemon, you're going to have an increased chance to encounter Shiny Bagon and Shiny Beldum, and then you're also going to have an increased chance to encounter Shiny Unknown U in raids. Now, these are going to be the wild encounters during this event. Magnemite, Dratini, Aron, Bagon, Beldum, Ferroseed, Noibat, and Rookidee are going to be spawning in the wild, and then Axew and Goomy are going to be uncommon spawns. So there's going to be a lot of pseudo-legendaries within this event, which I know is going to be exciting to some players, but the real highlight here is that Rookidee's shiny form is going to be making its Pokémon GO debut. Now, also spawning in 1-star raids during this event, we're going to get Unknown U, Gible, Clink, Dino, and Honedge, and then once again, there's just more pseudo-legendaries and 2-stage evolution Pokemon, and then of course Unknown U. And then Unknown U, like I mentioned earlier, is going to have an increased shiny chance. And then also in 3-star raids, we're going to have Skarmory, B-Sharp, Dragolge, as well as Turtonator. There's also going to be event-themed field research tasks, as well as event-themed collection challenges. So let's get the elephant out of the room. Shiny Rookidee is coming to Pokémon GO. Really exciting stuff. But the one caveat with this is that a couple of weeks ago, we voted for what the August Community Day Pokemon was going to be, and a lot of people voted for Rookidee, specifically because they wanted its shiny form make its debut in the game. And a lot of people thought that because it was an option for August Community Day, that it would be the one to win, because it doesn't have its shiny form yet in Pokemon GO, and people really wanted it to make its debut, and they thought this would be the way that it would happen. That if we voted for Rookidee, it gets a Community Day in August, then we'll finally have its shiny form in the game. But a lot of people did not suspect that we would get Shiny Rookidee before that Community Day, and I feel like because of that, many people might feel like their vote was misled. Sure, maybe it may not have changed things, the other options were not necessarily that exciting, but I still feel like people would have voted differently had they had known that Shiny Rookidee would be available in the game before that Community Day. Now, the one thing I will say is that because it's going to be a Community Day Pokemon, you're going to have a much better chance at getting its shiny form as opposed to it just being a part of an in-game event. But I still feel like this is a little bit weird because I really feel like they should have disclosed that Shiny Rookidee was going to be in Pokemon Go before that voting process happened, and I do think the outcome could have potentially been different. That's just my own personal look on it, but let's also talk about Aegislash. So this is a fan favorite Pokemon. If you look at any of the social media posts regarding this Ultra Unlock event, there's a huge amount of hype around Aegislash finally coming to Pokemon Go. And I think a lot of players would really want this Pokemon in their collection, but it's not going to be available in the wild. I think a lot of players are always very frustrated at Niantic whenever they release a brand new Pokemon in something like raid battles or hatching eggs or special research, something like that, because it kind of paywalls some new Pokemon. And yeah, sure, you could still get yourself an Aegislash for free, just simply going out and spending your free daily raid pass. But I feel like a lot of players would have preferred this Pokemon being in the wild, especially because when it comes to Aegislash, that is one of those Pokemon that a lot of players would really want in their collection. So yeah, these are just some of the little missteps that I noticed with this event, but overall, I still think it's really exciting. I still think they did a really good job with these events, at least so far. I really like what Niantic has been doing. Pokemon Go is in a pretty good place, and in spite of some of these little hiccups here and there, I still feel like the game is worth playing right now, and this event is still looking to be pretty good. Like I said, if you want to get yourself a Honedge for Aegislash, you could just go out and do one daily raid pass, and you could essentially get it for free. I know some players would prefer spending those daily raid passes on legendaries, especially because I think at this time we're going to have either Lunala or Solgaleo. But yeah, I still feel like this event is looking pretty good. I think the overall thing about it is that Niantic is doing a pretty good job. I think the acquisition from Scopely has definitely changed things for the better, and a lot of these in-game events have definitely improved. So, you know what? In spite of all these hiccups, I'm still going to be really excited about this event, and maybe you should be as well. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding this Scales and Steals or Steals and Scales event down below. Do you feel like some of these hiccups are definitely worth mentioning, or do you feel like it's not really that big of a deal at this point? Definitely share your thoughts in the comments down below, and let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the best way you can do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. That means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. And also, let me mention this, I actually opened up an Etsy store. I'm selling a whole bunch of merch for K-pop and anime themed stuff, so if you want a really cool shirt, or if you want a gift for a friend of yours or a family member who is really into K-pop, definitely go and check it out. I'll put a link to it in the description below. This is actually one of the shirts that I'm selling. It's for the group UAU, which is a subunit for Dreamcatcher. I could go on and on about that, but yeah, if you want a really cool custom shirt just like this one, then definitely go and check out my Etsy store. Again, a link to it is in the description below. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.
Jinsula.